So today we'll be discussing how to plan a trip to Leh Ladakh in the year 2024 for 15,000 rupees per person, and this is for a trip which is for minimum 8 days, and this trip will start in Delhi and will go all the way to Leh and end in Srinagar. So how do you end up doing the golden route to Leh Ladakh in just 15,000 per person? But remember, this trip you will need to tag along with a minimum of 4 to 5 friends. 6 is ideal, but minimum 4 people are needed to make this happen. So you are number 1, you got to find 3 more people, and this trip is easily doable in 15,000 per person, excluding your food. So how is it possible to do this entire trip in just 15,000 per person? That's what you'll be thinking in your head. But there is a way through, but you're gonna have to rough it out, and it's gonna be a extremely rugged journey. So the first thing is you've got to get to Delhi. Now once you're in Delhi, there is a bus by HRTC, that is Himachal State Road Transportation, which leaves at 11:30 in the morning, and during season that is, and reaches Leh the next day at 8 p.m. So this is technically a 36-hour bus journey. I would say 30 to 36 hours depending on the road condition. The roads are pretty good as of now, but this bus is for just 1600 and nearly 1700 online. You add taxes, it is around 1800 rupees per person. So this cuts the cost down drastically, plus you don't have to stay a night in Manali, which is really costly during peak season, that is June July. So this avoids having to stay a night, plus you're not spending way too much on a bus, because if you check the bus tickets from Delhi to Manali, it is roughly around 1500, and here you can reach from Delhi to Leh in around 1800 rupees. The bus is an ordinary bus, that means it's a 3+2, 3 seaters on the right side behind the driver and 2 seater on the other side, and these seats do not recline. If you're okay sitting in this kind of a bus, it is not a difficult journey, it is just a journey which is going to be really long. So now day 1 you take the bus at 11:30 from ISBD Kashmiri Gate. Day 2 you reach Leh in the evening at around 8 o'clock. You go to your hotel straight away from the bus stop. You'll find plenty of taxis which will take you to your hotel or a guest house. Try booking a guest house because you'll find it extremely cheaper. A guest house or a homestay in Leh will cost you around 500 to 800 for the entire room, which can take 2 to 3 people. A room for 2 will be around say 800 rupees, so that's 400 per person. So now that takes your cost from 1800 to 400 more, so that's 2200 rupees that you have spent in 2 days. Now this is where your journey to Leh begins. You need rest, so take day 2 as a complete rest day. Have a bit of food and just rest. Day 3, if you're feeling fine, you can move around for local sightseeing. If you're a group of 4 or 5, take an Omni, because that's the most cheapest way to get around Leh without having to overspend. So the Omni to roam around Leh, to see the Sangam, to go to Shanti Stupa, to move around Hall of Fame, to check out Magnetic Hills, will cost you around 3 to 3,500 for the entire day. And this is the best thing to do for the local sightseeing around Leh. So now if it is 3,500 rupees, you do the maths, divided by 4 people, it will again come down to around 600 rupees 6 to 700 rupees per person. So that's 2200 rupees plus another 700 rupees, that makes it 2900. So that's your day 3, plus again the stay on day 3, so that makes it 400 rupees additional. 2900 plus 400 makes it 3300. So far you've spent around 3300 rupees and 3 days are done. Now on day 4 you leave for Nubra Valley. So for Nubra Valley you can cut a deal with the same Omni, Eco Omni guy. The Eco vehicle will cost you for a journey for 1 night in Hundar, 1 night in Pangong, and returning back, that's 2 nights 3 days, anywhere between 20 to 22,000. So if it is, let's catch 22,000 to make the maths easier. So 22,000 divided by 4 people will make it around 5,500. So now 5,500 rupees plus 3,200 makes it around 7,000. No, it makes it around 8,700 per person. So far you have spent just 8,700 rupees, but you've already got to see Pangong and Hundar. Now the last thing that is left to be counted in is your accommodation in Hundar and Pangong. So now my personal recommendation is stay a place in Hundar which is not expensive. Those are homestays. Try to find one online. It will cost you roughly around 800 to 1000 rupees per person with all your meals. So catch another 2000 rupees of 1 night for Hundar, 1 night in Pangong, 1000 each. So that becomes anywhere between 2,000. So now that takes your cost up from 8,000 to 10,000. So now you've spent 10,000 rupees, but you've already completed Pangong and Nubra Valley. So that's 5 days. Day 1 was in Delhi, day 2 was reaching Leh, day 3 was local sightseeing, day 4 is Nubra Valley, Hundar, day 5 is Pangong, and you have spent around 10,000 per person without your food and entry fees. Now day 6 is when you return back to Leh, and that's when you got to spend again another 400 rupees to stay the night. So that's count it as 10,400 rupees. And now you got to decide whether you want to fly out of Leh or you want to go to Srinagar. I would recommend you go to Srinagar since it's a very good journey. You can again book the bus, which is the J&K tourism bus, which leaves every evening. So you reach on day 6 to Leh. You spend the entire day 7 in Leh roaming around the town. You can go for rafting, you can buy whatever souvenirs you want, and you take the overnight bus. So on day 7 you take the overnight bus. It costs around 850 rupees. It leaves in the evening at around 5 o'clock, reaches the next day at around 5 or 6 to TCR. TCR is in the heart of Srinagar, and that's where the tourism department is. From there, the lake is walking distance. So this entire journey is around 12,000 rupees so far what we have budgeted for. Now the remaining 3,000 is basically for your permits, for your entry fee, and if by chance here and there you need to spend a little bit more money, that is, I would say, if you're going to be going rafting, which will cost you around 1,000 to 1,500 rupees per person. If your accommodation, you can't cut the deal that I mentioned on this video, then you got to spend a little bit more. So it'll come up to anywhere between 13 to 15,000 rupees. You can easily get this entire Leh Ladakh gig done, but provided you're ready to take the buses in and out of from Delhi to Leh by bus, and from Leh to Srinagar you got to do the buses. If you're going to look for luxury and you're going to say that you can't travel and compromise going by bus, then it's going to cost you at least another 15,000 rupees more, because just picture this: the SUV from Leh to Srinagar is 3,500 rupees per seat, and the vehicle cost from Manali to Leh is another 3,500. So that alone is 7,000 plus your stay in Manali, which is at least 1,000 rupees per person. Then your bus from Delhi to Manali, which is again the same cost as the bus from Delhi to Leh, but this one is a Volvo bus, so it will cost you more. So overall, the trip is easily possible in 13 to 15,000 rupees, but provided you have two things: you're ready to rough it out by taking public transportation in and out of Leh, and number two, you are ready to get along minimum 4 to 5 people so that your trip can be split and the costing is affordable. And the final thing is, don't eat anything that will make your stomach upset and which will give you problems along the journey. Stick to veg food because that's the safest. When you're traveling in Leh town, you can have non-veg because you can trust the restaurants over there, but in the rest of the places, just stick to egg and veg food.